So what I'll talk about today are three issues that all entrepreneurs have to come to grips with at some point. And it requires a little bit of mental gymnastics because it involves relationships, right? And the first thing I want to make sure is crystal clear to individuals is this. I'm never one to advocate dissing those individuals whom you've grown up with or from the neighborhood you hail from or the environment that helped to shape you. But sometimes you do have to distance yourself from people, and you have to understand how to identify those individuals who you need to distance yourself from. Now, here's the thing. The first thing that a lot of entrepreneurs have to understand is this. Your friends, your family, your peer group, those individuals who see you and they believe you are on the same level that they are, or they have some type of parental relationship with you, or even some individuals who've had more success than you, now keyword is some, understand they're jealous of you. Entrepreneurship is difficult. I'm not here to tell you that it's a walk in the park, the man is going to fall from the sky because you've chosen some type of business model, entrepreneurial endeavor. That's not what I'm about. You can find that stuff on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere else. Just because you chose entrepreneurship, your issues do not disappear. And it's a theme that I'm going to repeat because I think people need to come to understand that entrepreneurship is not you're not playing flag football when you choose to become an entrepreneur. If you don't make correct decisions, if you don't surround yourself with the right individuals, if your mind and spirit isn't right, you're going to get your teeth knocked out, okay? It's more like rugby. And so, once again, one of those things that you need to understand is that the people who, once again, are on your level or feel that they're on your level, because it's all about mindset, right? They're jealous of you because you chose an entrepreneurship, because it is so absolutely difficult, okay? And not everyone is going to be able to do it. Everyone has potential. And let me say this, while everyone can't necessarily do it, I think everyone can benefit from more entrepreneurial mindset and activity, especially in the way society is organized today. And we don't need everyone, we just need more, right? We need more people taking control of what happens at the kitchen tables, in their communities, and making an impact in society, because that's what we are as entrepreneurs, we're change agents. So they know that your success basically shines a light, I wouldn't say on their mediocrity, though some people would say that, but it does shine a light upon the fact that you were willing to do things they weren't willing to do. You were willing to make sacrifices they weren't willing to make. You were able to succeed where they may have failed. And so because of that, people may not necessarily hate on you, but sometimes they may just remain silent. They won't support you. They won't jump up and down for joy and applaud you. They aren't going to be the individuals to help corral the tribe, right? And you just need to come to grips with that. And it's not a you thing, right? It's not necessarily a reflection of you. It's just a human condition. It's the way we as human beings behave. And that's one of the first things I want to address. The second thing that needs to be addressed is that to be transparent through, because a lot of folks get trapped up in this too, where you think people are thinking about you. They're not. Most people are not thinking about you. Most people are too occupied with what's going on in their personal lives. Most people have too much going on in terms of family, work, stress, obligations, et cetera, et cetera. You're upset because of something someone said to you 20 years ago. You're upset because of a slight that occurred 2 minutes, 20 minutes, 2 hours, 2 years ago. You're upset over what someone did or said to hurt you emotionally. And know this, they're not thinking about you. So all your mental energies are being tied up with something that transpired with someone who's not even thinking about whether you succeed or fail. They won't show up at your funeral. They're not going to show up at your graduation. I just want you to reflect on that for a moment. More times than not, when someone slights you, when someone misbehaves or, behaves in a pejorative or negative way, 9 times out of 10 has nothing to do with you. It's a reflection of where they're coming from. And they're not thinking about you. They're on to the next. People are very much preoccupied with themselves, right? What's in it for me? That's the station most people listen in. WIIFM, what's in it for me? So be aware of that. The last thing that I want to end with is, once again, entrepreneurship is difficult. I had a conversation with a good friend yesterday. And, during the conversation, she shared how she just didn't have motivation. She didn't have energy. She didn't have She didn't feel like getting it in. And look, we all have those moments. But the other thing I wanted to remind her is don't be so hard on yourself. Okay, developing the type of muscle and tenacity and dexterity and a way of thinking, the acumen is required to be successful as an entrepreneur takes time. We are so trained by today's society to be flitting to and from, running from opportunity to opportunity, job to job, relationship to relationship. The bottom line, that's not how mastery is created. That's not how it happens, right? But that's what we're trained. That's what we're cajoled into. If you're doing something and it's not working right away, that means something's wrong with it or something's wrong with you. And that's just not necessarily the case. I mean, think about it. Anything that you've excelled at, anything that you've become very elite at, takes time. And even once you become elite, what ends up happening is then you have to almost reverse engineer it and learn about the simple things. You have to make it simplistic. So that's another level of mastery as well, so it can become predictable. So it takes time. Okay, it takes time to develop the skills. It takes time to develop wisdom. It takes time to anticipate things. It takes time. The reason why it's difficult or damn near impossible for a novice chess player to beat a master chess player is because a novice might be thinking 1 or 2, 3 steps ahead. That master chess player is thinking 13, 15 plus steps ahead. They know where you're going to end up before you do, just based on one move. And that takes time. And entrepreneurship, that's what that's about, right? We succeed as entrepreneurs primarily because we see things first. We're on the outer edges. We see the opportunities. We see the arbitrage first. And it's difficult. Look, 90% of individuals who start out in the investment advising industry don't make it beyond year 2. Same thing in the real estate industry. Most athletes will never make it to the NBA. They'll never make it to the NFL. Most musicians never achieve their dream. Most individuals will never become the CEO or CFO of a Fortune 500 company. It's just not going to happen. Entrepreneurship is difficult, just like those endeavors are difficult. You need to accept the fact that at some point you have to become elite to enjoy elite success, and it is extremely difficult. Okay, I read a statistic a while back ago that said real estate agents, all these real estate agents that actually take the time to take the course, to spend the money, et cetera, the bottom line is, I think they said like only 2% actually sell a house. They say like over 90% never even sell one house. That's incredible. That's incredible. You spend all that time, that energy, that effort, you get excited, you get amped, because it's not like, you take a certification course for 30 minutes online somewhere. Real estate license and investment advising license, Series 6, 7, 6, 5, those things take time, energy, effort, focus. And most people don't succeed, okay? And a lot of times, people in real estate, investment advising, insurance, stock brokers, et cetera, they're in controlled environments where training is available to them. Oftentimes, the companies have more of an incentive to provide mentorship and structure, right? Because they're making an investment in that person. As an entrepreneur, that's not there. And so, what I'd encourage you, if you're listening to this and you're having difficulty with motivation, inspiration, training for another time about the difference between the two. If you are having difficulty with your modus operandi, creating a success itinerary, doing priority management, understanding the time management is an oxymoron. If you're having difficulty with finding your core values, your core focus, defining who you want to serve and how you want to serve, right? Understand this. You need to find yourself a business coach. Think about it. All the elite athletes, musicians, anyone who's elite at anything, just reflect on that for a moment. They have a coach. Elite business coaches have coaches, right? It's what's required. Because the bottom line is, there are going to be times where you need someone from the outside looking in to make corrections. You need someone who's willing to say the tough things because they're not blinded by their relationship, whether they're for you or against you, right? They're not blinded by subjectivity. You need someone that you can surrender a part of your life to, that you trust, that is competent, that is either accomplished what you've accomplished, or in the process of accomplished. You really need to find someone who's accomplished above and beyond what you've accomplished, okay? Someone who hasn't, that's more like a workout partner. But you need a coach. somebody who has been there, done that. Not academically, maybe they have academic acumen, but they've actually done the work, okay? That's what's required. And so if you don't have a coach, if you don't have a coaching system, if you don't have something like that in place, think about it. It's a false expectation that you're going to become effective enough, elite enough to achieve the elite success that you may be pursuing. Because understand this, in the United States, in our society, if you are able to build a business, earn a grown adult living at six-figure income and above, you are elite. Most people will never do it. Most people will never build a business that can actually take care of themselves and their families. And look, there's no judgment here. It just is what it is. So, oftentimes it's tempting to jump online and go hard and say, look, you need to fix this, you need to fix that, you need to fix this, you need to fix that. Sometimes it's okay to say, you know what? It's all good. You just need a little bit of help. And stop beating yourself up. Get the help you need, get the systems you need, get the right people around you, and be aware that, well, and again, people are not thinking about you the majority of the time. They've done their harm to you, they've done whatever shameful act, they're on and moving. Number two, don't be surprised, don't be upset when people disappoint you. Don't be surprised, don't be upset when people whom you thought were your friends don't support you. It's not personal. They're just wired to see I hate using the word mediocrity, but they're being, I might as well just say it. Your success, your leveling up makes them feel smaller, okay? Be aware that that's going to happen, and it's okay. And then last but not least, get yourself a business coach. This is not cakewalk, okay?